heard a good chunk from the governor there about immigration. What did you think?
You know, I think we applaud and thank the governor for standing up for all New Yorkers, including immigrant New Yorkers. It's great that she wants to ensure that we're protecting our sensitive locations and also ensuring that our state resources aren't going to collude with immigration enforcement to separate our families, gut our communities, and harm our economy.
Is that New York for all? Did you read into that at all? Like, what was that?
You know, we look forward to learning more about what that is and making sure that we actually deliver on New York for all and deliver on Access to Representation Act so that we're actually giving people a fighting chance to remain here in the great state of New York with their families and in their communities.
She mentioned, I know obviously this is a little bit in the weeds, but talked about being able to enter a facility with a judicial warrant. Is that something you can see working? You know, is that possible in this current immigration system?
I think that that's the law. You know, we have constitutional rights that protect us as Americans and people who call this country home. And what we're seeing ICE and other immigration enforcement agents do is violate our constitutional rights. So to arrest someone, normally you would need a judicial warrant. And they have not had those. And they're, you know, at most times wandering and trying to catch anyone who they think is black or brown in the streets or at people's homes. So having a judicial warrant is really the floor. And ensuring that we're protecting as many New Yorkers needs to be the solution that we're all fighting for.
Last year, I think I made the mention that she didn't mention immigration at all in the state of the state. Why do you think the change?
I think that we've seen for the past year Donald Trump's war against immigrants and war against states like New York. And I think as most New Yorkers and as most Americans, 86% of Americans think that what immigration enforcement is doing is going way too far. And everyone is feeling what's happening day in and day out on the streets of New York City or Minneapolis or LA or Chicago. Last week we saw Renee Nicole Good get shot in the face by ICE agents, and that is literally sort of yesterday's news. We've had over 30 plus people die in ICE custody. Every single day you're hearing even more and more horrific instances happening, and I think people are just getting fed up with it, and this is why I believe we're going to continue to see all of our state reps stand up and fight for all New Yorkers, including immigrants.
All right, thanks for the time.